I really want to relate to it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of stories. Like, I'm not a big fan of like superhero movies or anything like that. But if I watch a movie, like let's say a romantic comedy or a comedy or whatever it might be, or a documentary, I want to personally relate to that. So I think your story is definitely going to be relatable to a lot of people. I just want to see that more emotion. That's all I.
Really drive it home.
Yes.
Emmy Award winning. Like.
Yes.
I like how the speeches in this class are like more like performance based a lot of the time. Like it's like acceptable to really tap into that kind of raw emotion.
Yeah.
And make it. It's like I feel like a lot of these are more like monologues where you're like a character. But.
Yeah. She's not necessarily focused on necessarily the chunk of what you're trying to present, but how you present it. Mm-hmm. So, I think you'll do good on that if you just practice a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
Now, did you say when you guys became a couple again, was it high school, college? Did you say that?
Literally, I said literally this time last year, and like, it was about this time last year, but there's not like,
okay,
we never like officially like started dating. It just like one of those things where it just kind of like happened where you're not like, will you be my girlfriend? It's just like a common, like, oh, I accept that you're my significant other now. So it was just kind of like a process. But
yeah. Well, the reason I'm asking is because I'm just trying to get a time frame in which you're trying to present this.
So it goes from like April, about this time April to November was the span of the relationship. Mm-hmm. About mid-September, like it was like those last couple months that were the real like rocky times. Like I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
But about September to November is about the time where it got like rough, like really bad. Broke up in November, and so then from November to here, it's been the whole like healing process, or like shoving feelings down and then having them all reemerge. Like this whole like, literally I had no idea what I was going to talk about for this speech. Like no idea. And then this slapped me right across the face a couple weeks ago. Like the meeting was literally like 2 weeks ago.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
pretty recent.
So I was like, well, I was literally sitting there like, well, that experience, like I'm happy I went through it, but at the same time I was like, I just have a speech topic now, like, so yeah, about a year. Which is like weird, like that's like the one part of the story I like worry about, because the relationship wasn't that long per se, but like I said, we literally dated all through middle school, so there was like 3 years of relationship before that gap, then dated again. It was like a very like hit the ground running, passionate kind of, we're back together. So it was a ride.
Sounds like the way you're presenting your paper. Okay, so I was just a little confused on that.
So make the timeline a little bit more clear.
Yeah, okay. Because some people might ask, like, was this 4 years? Was this 5 years? Mm-hmm. Like, and how recent it was. So that'd probably be a good idea. I'm putting that in there. Trying to figure out. So like I said, overall it was a pretty good. Okay. I don't know if this would be too personal, because I think it might be. So let me know if I'm
you're fine.
overreaching here. Because you said he was very, very mean to you.
Yeah. He never hit me. It was just very.
That's good to know.
very like emotionally
Very emotional.
abusive. Like,
Okay.
Like, you know, like the whole like him trying to like gaslight me about stuff, like being very like verbally attacking, lots of like, bad like, verbal fights. It was just like he just became so bitter out of nowhere. Like it was so weird, but yeah, I didn't know like how to like.
I wouldn't focus on it necessarily too much. All I'm saying is, just maybe just give like
expanding a
little bit on why he's very mean to you.
Okay.
Because basically what you say is mean could be totally okay with someone else. So just expand a little bit on that.
I'm appreciating all these tips. These are all very good pieces of advice.
Well, I wasn't there on Tuesday, so I'll be there tomorrow to hopefully see some speeches that way I can go off of.
They were good. They were all really good.
That's good. I'm still in the working process of mine. Okay, let me know. Did you... So this was in your residential hall, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a stupid RA meeting. I still agree the whole meeting was stupid, but
so
I learned something from it.
So you're an RA?
I am not an RA. It was like the RA forced us to go, and then she was like, "This is brand new information about closing. It's different from last year." It wasn't. It's not different from last year.
I have stuff to do. I need to go.
That's what I kept saying. So funny because my roommate was like, "Kayla, we should sit by the door." I was like, "No, there's a big spot right up there."
So, on your first page, you said you went to a baseball game with some friends. And you received a text. How is... You said that this is very self-reflecting and self-working, and it's not very... like, people haven't necessarily helped you through the process. It's been more you through the process. But maybe include... have you opened up to other people possibly about it?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Basically to put it in there, basically to say, yes, it comes down to you. Because no one can help you besides yourself in this fact. So the healing process is different from other people, but like, did you have no help or some help? Because I really want to emphasize that.
Yeah.
Because for most people, being with friends, being with family.
Oh yeah, I mean like the initial breakup itself, very, very heavily relied on my friends and family to help like get me through it. Like, very heavily. But like the whole process of like this whole like coming to like full closure and like forgiveness and like being able to say I forgive him for what he did, that was like a me kind of thing. Like from like the whole like when I realized I hadn't forgiven him yet to now, like that's been a very like self-exploratory process. So
I don't know if you'd agree with this.
Okay.
But I think you hit on something that I might would like to be in this. You said the process of forgiving. What kind of toll did that take on you to forgive him? Like it what? Like you said, it took some time.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of toll did it take on you?
It was
like emotionally,
yeah.
physically, maybe.
I literally went back to my dorm room after the meeting, and like I still had his stuff under my bed. Like I was gonna send it back to him eventually, but I ripped it out from under my bed, and I was really like all that emotion from like the original breakup literally like welled up right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I was crying. Actually, like packaged all his stuff up and sent it to the post office. Like I don't want this crap in my room anymore. So it started like very like angry. Like I was mad at him for me not being okay still, and then it was like a whole like, you know what I mean? So it was like a very intense couple-week journey getting here emotionally.
Yeah, I would try to include some of that. Not every detail, obviously.
Yeah.
But just some examples of how much it really took a toll on you. Because, yes, you do lay out a timeline, but there's a lot of gray in there. So for me personally, I put like an example or two of, the toll it took on you.
Yeah, because that explains like the hurt, like if the time, like even though the timeline is like literally a year span, like.
Yeah, it's the forgiveness that you're trying to emphasize.
Mm-hmm. Just comes down to me being more okay with like putting myself out there and being vulnerable and.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that would be probably a really good thing to add.
Yes. I don't know if this would be good. So it's just a suggestion or just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But possibly putting something that people could do. Not because you laid out reach, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But what people can do necessarily on campus if they're struggling through this time. Or like if there's a business that specializes in this. I don't know if that would be helpful to them.
Mm-hmm.
I was just throwing it out there to see if that would be something that people would be interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see about possibly working that way in a way that it doesn't like.
Because you do say, I hope all you can see through the story and apply it to your own life if you need forgiveness in it as well. And then I'd probably put like, for additional information or for additional help, contact this on campus or contact this business. I think that would work for a number of people in trying to figure out where they need to be at or connect with others that are going through the same thing.
Someone did that yesterday. Their topic was suicide. And they put like the hotline number and like all the resource. Yesterday was a heavy day. It was a really heavy day.
That was brutal. Someone put that in the presentation?
Mm-hmm. It was about suicide. And they put the number on there and like all the resources in Muncie and campus that you could go to, and I almost cried. It got
real.
There was a lot of topics were like really real. It was like okay.
Well, hopefully all those got good grades because it doesn't, especially the suicide one. I'm like, that's a tough topic to talk about.
Oh yeah, it was really good. They all did awesome. Proud of this class. I love this class.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. That's why I took this class, was trying to, get over my fear of public speaking. I still have that. I'm trying to get through.
Oh, I'm terrified of public speaking.
So.
Terrified of it.
I'm okay, I see.
We're getting there.
We are. We're about done anyway. So.
Okay.
So to wrap this up for about the next 9 minutes, you said you have goals and hopes for this speech, but I don't know. Since 40-something minutes passed, if you really Did you talk about others and trying to reach out to them, possibly?
The way I'm trying to reach others is getting them to like tap into, you know, that place where they think, oh, okay, so we all have people in our life who aren't around. Like that's a really common thing. Okay, like how have we handled that? What can we do to handle that better? And so like in terms of like actually like reaching the audience, like it's my story, but like I try to design it in a way that like everyone can relate to something in there to grasp onto the idea. Like that was my goal for like being able to reach them. And I think that would be better conveyed like once I like, you know, really am able to tap into those emotions. So if I can get my audience to feel something, then they're going to be on board.
Definitely.
I think.
You reached me, obviously, because I can relate to the story in a sense, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, so we got pretty much your speech down. I don't know if you want to go through another run at it. That's up to you. But what are you planning on using as visual aids or props or anything from the speech?
Yeah, I plan on having a PowerPoint, but it's mostly like, I think the whole timeline of this story would be better, like help as like a visual aid, not like actually like points on the PowerPoint, more like visuals to kind of help emphasize things that I'm going through, especially like that reach section. I feel like it would be a lot easier to be like REAC, you know.
Yeah.
So just I think like a PowerPoint, but not like I'm not going to be like this is how you forgive. It's going to be more like, you know, the more like visual, like emphasizing main points, emphasizing main quotes that I say, and kind of helping make that timeline visually more accessible to the audience is kind of my goal for that. Do you think that would be effective, or?
I think it would. That probably won't work. So, what visual aids are you going to use again? Because I know you said reach, obviously, but
Yeah, I was thinking like, honestly, I plan to use the whole idea of like screen, the majority of it, because
you don't
it's
want
a raw story. I don't think there's a lot that can be done up here to like help that make better.
obviously, yes, because you're basically you don't want them to focus too much on the PowerPoint. You want to focus on you.
Yeah, but like when I say things like step into the circle if you've forgiven them, like I could see that as like a big quote up on the screen, like in the background, like kind of going back to that whole idea, or kind of like let's go, because I kind of jump back and forth between like past and present a lot, I feel like, and I do that on purpose, to kind of keep my audience on their toes is what I try to do, because I feel like if I go all story and then present, like it would get boring. So maybe like fast forward and play forward, or I don't know, that kind of thing, maybe just to kind of help. I haven't fully thought about like how I want that to look, but like
You still
I
got.
purposely make the story not linear. Like I try to bounce back and forth because I feel like that's more like interesting for the audience, but I could be way off.
Well, I get what you're saying on that, but at the same time, you don't want your audience to basically be confused on where you're at.
No, yeah, it's just making that whole timeline a bit more clear. I think like visually, I can make that happen.
Okay.
And a little bit better wording on my part.
So I think your visual aids will be good in the quotes and the reach. Like you're in the 8 to 10 minute mark, which is where you need to be. Again, like I said, movement would be key.
Yeah, a lot of.
More emotion would be key. Because it is a raw, emotional story, obviously. I think we're done.
Cool.
We're done.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. You did such a good job. Are we supposed to ask questions like throughout?